Looking at the NAS100 here, has been somewhat bearish recently. You can see there was lower lows since mid-July, but it is overall still bullish. It's above this moving average, so still looking for buys. This week, today is Wednesday, so these last couple days as well, super bullish. It is approaching some zones here though, so this is a very significant area. You can see price respected it many times here, 3 times, and then broke, and then tested it 3 times and sold off. And you can see it's touched this area again right at about 15 to 230. So I do see it hitting this area again, maybe testing it again today. New York opens in 11 minutes from now, so probably get the volume then to hit this zone. And then we kind of gotta wait because it's made lower lows. You can see it is trending downwards, so you can actually, it might line up with this trend line. I'm not really a trend line user much, but you can see that it might actually respect this trend line too. So I'm potentially actually going to look for shorts at this area. So if we throw in our pivot points, we can see our main daily pivot point down here, which price actually it opened here on Monday, blew right through it, so it has been steady throughout. So I don't really see it hitting 15,438 up here, but that is our next daily resistance zone. If we look on the 4-hour here, you can see it's actually hitting the R1 here, so this is kind of huge. So because it already hit this R1 pivot point, this resistance point, I guess you can call it, right at 15,198. You can see it rejected it. It's now hitting it again on this 4-hour and rejecting it. There's 38 minutes on this candle, and 30 of those minutes are going to be New York's open. So we can tell a lot by how this candle closes in the next 38 minutes. If it can't break this area, then it might start selling off. If it can't break above 15,198, it might start selling off. But I'm still keeping this area in mind, a little bit higher. There's just more liquidity up here. So, and again, if this daily candle doesn't touch anything above yesterday's candle, so right above the high for yesterday is 15,242. So if price does not hit 15,242 today at all, then that's technically a lower high for the day, and this might start selling off. So there is some good short potentials here. So right off of this zone, obviously, but then like I said, it's right at this 4-hour resistance point. So what I would be looking for is, delete this for now. The weekly range for this is about 550 points. So, and it's already at 428. So even if it does continue to be bullish for the rest of the week, I don't see it going a ton higher. I mean, maybe 100 points above right here. So if we just map this out, you get about 100 points up here. So like, yeah, maybe 15,350, the absolute max for the week. But I don't see that happening. I see the zone being really just heavy resistance for price now. But I mean, if it breaks this zone, then it's going to start touching these. It's going to probably go after these, these prices up here at 15.5. So, but I mean, this is the main zone we're watching today for sure, and probably the rest of the week, and how price functions around it. So, judging these, basing my analysis on these 4-hour candles, you can see they're getting a lot smaller too as they hit this area. Granted, this was not a high volume session here, but this 15,198 area is really price is really resisting it. So we'll see if that continues. And then our net, right now we got higher highs, higher lows on this 4-hour time frame. So the 4-hour time frame is bullish. Price is above the moving average. But what I'd be looking for is, some sort of pullback here. So let's put this here, some sort of pullback, and then obviously if it breaks, so our pivot point here is right in between this 50% and 618 zone. You can see that there's a lot of liquidity in this area. You can see price respected this, and then with this candle broke it, came down, retested it, found this as support. So this is a very significant area too. So basically what I'm getting at is if price rejects this area, we're going to target this area. So in order to do that, we got to wait for confirmation. So this 4-hour candle will close in 35 minutes from now, and then we'll have to see about the next 4-hour candle, and then obviously that'll be most of New York's volume in the next candle. So between 7:30 my time, but it'd be 9:30 Eastern. So 9:30 Eastern to it'd be 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Will be the next candle, and that will really tell us what we're gonna do. So if all that New York volume rejects this R1 and rejects this area, then we might be looking for a retrace, at least a retrace, if not so because at this point we don't really know. Yes, price is above this moving average, yes, but it's been creating lower lows, so, and lower highs. So you definitely have to consider that this is potentially bearish long term now. So with that being said, our next move, if it rejects this area, is down to this zone, and then obviously if it breaks this zone, then we're probably looking pretty bearish. Or if it breaks this, if it comes down to this zone, finds support just like it did previously here, then we'd be looking to target this area again. Depending on if it creates a lower liquidity zone below this zone, then we might just target that one. But this is kind of what I'm looking at to begin with. So because I just as far as supply and demand, this zone is just very significant. It's hitting this R1 zone. Sorry, I keep going time frame. And then just based on these candles, you can see this, yesterday's candle, although very bullish, hit this area and sold off. And pretty much this candle's yesterday's candle's pretty much 50-50 wick to body. So it did sell off, and so now today it could just be testing these prices within that candle, within that wick, and then could be looking for a sell off. So what I'm waiting for is some bearish signal here. So obviously in the 1 hour we got nothing here. I mean, I would look for price to break as of right now, which I don't think we're going to get today, but price break in this zone. This is obviously a support area, so it's got to break this. I'd be looking for these moving averages. These moving averages to get crossed over would be huge. So you can see price is still way above this 30-minute moving average, way above the 15. For me to short this, I would have to wait for price to break below these moving averages. So actually, I'm going to set an alert here. So when price crosses over this 15-minute moving average, then I might be interested. You can see it's heavily rejecting this 15.2 area, which is actually 15.198, which is this 4-hour resistance point. So I mean, like, this is pretty significant. And obviously if we get a big bearish engulfing 4-hour candle, next one, I mean, that would probably tell us for the rest of the week where it wants to go. You can see we got another 30 minutes on this 1-hour candle, and those next 30 minutes from now are going to be New York Open, so should get some volume. So we'll see how this 1-hour candle does, and then if it breaks if it breaks this area, then we might be looking to short this for the rest of the day, and if not, into the rest of the week. And then that'll really set us up for next week as well, because if this week closes pretty bearish, then if we get some, so today's Wednesday, and then if this candle obviously sells off, closes below this zone today, and then Thursday, Friday, if there's any, well, most likely would be some bear momentum, coming, filling the rest of this segment of price here all the way down to, oh, this is too far, sorry. So this is really skinny, but this is actually the entire week here. So if price comes down and starts filling this area, and starts going back towards this pivot point here that we began the week at, and this week becomes pretty bearish, even though it started off strong here, but if it's, it starts selling off at this zone and breaks this zone, then that would tell me that next week most likely wants to be bearish, and all this really did was like retrace, you know, hit that. You can see it actually bang on, hit this 618 zone, and you know, it's potentially selling off. So the NAS100 might actually be bearish. We don't know yet, but there's a very good chance that it is. With its lower lows, you know, this entire move here, all it was a retrace. So basically it's just a opportunity for sellers to get back in at the best price possible, which it's currently at. If you're a seller, it's at the best point right now to sell if it is going to continue to be bearish. So that is my take on the NAS100. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.